Hey there, good folks. coachKunin from coachKunin and RevFit.com. All right, continuing in our band series. Today we're going to look at arms. Who in the world doesn't want a good set of arms or a better or stronger set of arms? I don't care whether you're male, I don't care whether you're female. You know, there's nothing like arms. And arms, like everything else, a lot of it has to do with your genetics. In my case, I got robbed a little bit. I got some reasonable triceps, but I got the opposite in terms of biceps. I have very, very long insertions. You know, I would actually prefer to have those shorter Popeye arms, but you're given what you get, or maybe it's you get what you're given. I think that's probably a little bit more appropriate. That said, I'm going to show you some of my favorite band exercises for arms. There are tons of them, but as usual, I want to give you what I think deliver the best bang for the buck. So we're going to have a look at triceps first, then we'll look at biceps, and then we might run a little bit of a short circuit putting them to use. All right, stay tuned. All right, exercise number one. Pretty much anyone that's stepped into a gym and done any tricep work has used a rope push down. Today, I'm going to suspend a band to this high beam. Again, you can do this in your door frame, as I've been demonstrating with either a fastener or even a recyclable shopping bag. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I got a band, I got my elbows pinned to my sides, and I'm going to push straight down, really working hard on getting a good contraction at the bottom, controlling my negative. I don't mind if I'm quick on the way down, but I want to be slow on the way up. Let me just show you the side view. Push down and up. Lots of control, keeping those elbows. It's about how hard you can contract. Look, with bands, by and large, I like that probably 12 to 20 reps. I really want to get a good burn going. That is the first movement. All right, second of my favorite movements. Very simple. It's an overhead. So, I'm going to show you first from this angle. My elbows are pinned in. I got 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I'm going to take my hands just a little bit apart, and I'm going to push away. I come back, I forcefully push. What I like about this movement is this is the movement that puts me in a good stretch. So I'm getting a really good stretch right there because the weight is pulling backwards. I would say something like it's very equivalent to when you're doing a dumbbell fly, when you get that stretch, or you're doing a Romanian deadlift for the hamstring. And this would probably be my absolute favorite exercise for triceps, full stop. Now, when I'm in the gym, that could be done with the rope, that could be done with an apparatus like this. That's the movement that I can move a fair bit of weight and puts me under a really good stretch and load at the same time. Okay, third movement. I like to do things unilaterally. I want to make sure that my left arm, right arm equally is strong. Basically, it's a kickback. It's the equivalent of dumbbell kickback with a band. You're going to fasten something about, say, hip height. I got my elbow pinned in, and I'm pushing back. Now, if I want to make this extra nasty, and you know that I do, I'm going to just rotate so my palm is facing the ceiling at the top of the movement. Body's nice and stationary. Oh, this burns very, very, very much. So you're going to want to get, say about 12 on each side. Make sure that you want to think about your breathing. I'm breathing out on the hard parts. That's when I'm pushing away. And again, I get that little bit of a rotation, which really fries my triceps. And those, without question, are my three favorite band exercises. You want to throw in a body weight movement? Well, you always got tricep dips. They can be a great finisher. Okay, now that we've shown you three of my favorite tricep exercises, let's hit the biceps. Okay, you get a band. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step on that band. My feet, they're shoulder width apart. Now I'm going to grab down on the band a little bit to make it a bit harder, so I got extra tension. I'm keeping my shoulders back, I'm keeping my chest up, curling up, and again, as per always, controlling on that negative. Up, elbows are pinned, squeeze the biceps, slowly coming down, up. And this will again replicate your traditional barbell curl. Really want to have a good squeeze, really want to control on the way down. And I want you to fail somewhere about that 12 to 15 rep range. Okay, that's barbell, well, the equivalent of a barbell curl. Okay, as mentioned, I always like to have one movement that puts the muscle under tension and stretch at the same time. Now you can fasten your fastener in the low part of a door. I got a squat rack that's got a pin, so I'm going to use that. I'm actually walking ahead. So if you look, my right arm is already behind me. That's where the stretch begins. And I'm going to forcefully pin my elbow in. Oh, nice slow negative. Wow, that really hurts. Yep. And this, I actually want this to be my power movement that I'm actually going to probably hit failure well before I get to 12. So I'm going to go for about 8. Under stretch and then load. Oh, who says bands need to be easy? They don't. All right, you're of course going to switch sides. And lots of control. Oh, sometimes I wish I didn't come up with some of these movements. That's all right, my arms will thank me. Tomorrow when I can't wash my hair. Again, that elbow is pinned, all the way stretched, coming back up. Oh, it's a beauty. And last but not least, I call this a band pinwheel curl. It's one of my favorite dumbbell exercises. It's almost like a hammer curl, except for the fact that I'm actually curling across my body. Now, I'm stepping on this with my right foot. I got probably about a foot of the band, so that's about the appropriate tension for me. And as you see, I'm coming across my body. I'm actually finishing my hand in line with my left pec. So this addresses brachialis as well. It's a good way to get some extra strength, both in your forearm and your bicep concurrently. And you're going to want to probably hit about 10 or so reps on each side. Demonstrate on the left, standing on have the band underneath the left foot. Again, I got about my foot there, and I'm curling up. I'm always keeping those elbows locked and pinned, coming across the body, watching that negative. Look, I go faster on the way up, but I can't. It's that hard. And just because it's a band, it doesn't mean that you skate through. This is not about making the workout easier. It's about making everything harder and more effective. That's what training is about. Okay, so there you go. Like I said, I could give you a whole bunch of exercises with bands. I always want to pick the ones that I think have the best bang for the buck, that are the most effective. And to me, those are the 6 most effective. Here's another reason that I want to train people with bands is, okay, hopefully in a couple weeks, your gyms are going to open up and you're not going to be limited to bands. But like, for example, I train a lot of people one-on-one in studio. They might not be able to afford to see me multiple times per week. What I know now is that they could do a workout that requires a lot of spotting, whether that's squatting, whether that's bench pressing, etc., with me. But then they have the capacity also, if they travel, to be able to grab a couple bands and have supplementary workouts during the week. And that way they're going to keep their strength, they're going to keep their fitness going up, and everything's going to move. So I also, with arm training, I personally really like supersetting. So I like doing a bicep exercise followed by a tricep exercise. Bicep, tricep. I tend to do that at the end of the workout. I like getting as much blood into the overall arm as possible. That's me. Some people will pair biceps with back, for example, so they got all their pulling together. Some people will pair triceps with their push days. So they're doing, pressing, they're doing other delt work and triceps. The point being is that you experiment and you see what works best for you. Okay, for me, when it comes to arms, I like a heavy load, and I have found that I like more frequency as opposed to just doing endless sets, which I don't recover from, and I don't necessarily, because I'm not being forced to get stronger. It's more of an endurance thing. I want to get in and get out with bicep and tricep work be done with it. It's not overly athletic, so I don't find it that stimulating. Whereas I find compound movements, if I'm deadlifting, if I'm squatting, bench pressing, I'm having to concentrate on a lot of things. Let's face it, with triceps, yeah, you got a lot of options. With biceps, you can curl, or you can curl, or you can curl. It's not that exciting, but necessary if you want to have the best arm development that you can. All right, make sure that if you like the content, hell, subscribe to the YouTube channel or the Facebook page or the Instagram, wherever it may be. Make sure that you like it and leave a comment. That's going to help with the analytics so more than 3 people know about the channel. I'm putting in the time because I think that the content is worthy of you watching. If you agree, then keep up your end of the bargain, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have a great rockin' week. We'll see you soon.